of Defense Staff, Major General Yankuba A. Drame, was accompanied on the tour by the Permanent Secretary, Madame Daimari, the Commander Republican National Guard, Colonel Turo Jaune, and senior officers of the Gambia Armed Forces.
Can we join hearts in prayers? And then from that, we ask for God's journey mercies as we move from this destination, perhaps, to our last destination. And then, of course, see ourselves back here on Monday to do some debriefing and move on with the second leg. Individual prayers, please.
Is currently on a nationwide tour of military installation across the country. The tour, which would run from the 15th June to the 30th of June 2020, is aimed at obtaining first-hand information on the working and living condition of members of the Gambia Armed Forces and their families.
Gambia, we're endowed. We've been living together harmoniously. Why Gambia is one big family? Tribal sentiments should not be encouraged in the ranks of the military, even by extension in the country. We should not allow tribal sentiment to derail the peace and tranquility this country is renowned for. Remember, tribalism, if you look at most conflicts, causes of conflict in Africa, tribalism played a key role in that. Gambia, we do not know that. You may recall during the political impasse, the country was divided widely on political lines, and by extension on tribal grounds. For the first time in the history of this great country, we were divided. However, as serving members of the armed forces, we decided not to be divided, and I want to commend all of you, your efforts. We said to ourselves, we are the custodians of the Constitution, meaning we can safeguard the Constitution. We can safeguard the integrity and unity of the country. On the basis of that, we cannot allow to be divided. Today, more so, we should not be allowed to be divided. Let nobody fool anybody. And I want to reiterate this. If there is a crisis dimension, no one would emerge as a winner. Virtually, everybody is going to be a loser.
The Chief of Defense Staff is expected to pay a courtesy call on all the regional governors, members of the Armed and Security Services Chiefs representatives in all the region. The objective is to cement the good relationship between the Gambia Armed Forces and the sister services under the Ministry of Interior, State Intelligence Services, and the GRA.
It's more important is we share one thing in common. That is to say, we preserve the peace and tranquility of this country. That's our collective responsibility. And that can only be achieved when we work as a team. Put aside our differences, put aside our respective nomenclatures or terms of reference or mandates. One thing we share in common is the Gambia.
The top military chief will call on all community leaders, religious leaders, youths and women groups in all the regions, so as to gather first-hand information on the working relations regarding civic-military relationship between the Gambia Armed Forces and these communities.
Today, what is our problem? Some of your colleagues, they engage in what I call illegal duties. What are those illegal duties? Some of your colleagues, they use the pretext of the uniform to transit in drugs, to more precise, jamba. And they've been arrested every now and then by the National Drug Enforcement Agencies. And yet they persist on the trade. What is the cause for that, gentlemen? Guess what? In uniform, you are arrested. What a disgrace. They bundle you, lock you in the cells. This fine uniform. You are allowed to be accosted, locked in the cells, humiliated. Why do we allow that to happen? Knowing very well, in the military, there is a zero tolerance when it comes to drug trafficking. If you are caught, there is a board of inquiry conducted. If you are found wanting, you are dismissed. Assuming you are dismissed, you have a family. What do you tell your family? If you have pride and ego, you're from a responsible family. How do you show up and tell your families, your kids, your mothers, your sisters, to say, I was caught selling drugs. I was caught in possession of drugs. How do you justify to convince them? How do you feel? One, you've tarnished your image and credibility. You've tarnished the image and credibility of this fine institution we call the military. Because of you, all of us are blamed.
During the course of the tour, the Chief of Defense Staff is expected to highlight his vision and also to give room to his comrades to highlight their challenges.